What's up, Wavelings, and welcome back to a brand new video. Here we are, it's finally happened. I know I've not really talked about the hype too much for Shadowlands Alpha, but I've been quietly excited and hoping for it, and it's finally been announced 5 months in the making. Although I and others thought it might be coming out today, Monday, it seems that's not the case. We got a new developer update from Ian Hazacostas about the matter. I do want to say real quick before I get into it, thank you all so much for the insane growth of my channel over this past week. It's been extremely awesome and I appreciate it so much. I also wanted to point out to those that might not realize I have a Twitter and an Instagram you can follow if you want to. Primarily Twitter because I post about videos there as well as just kinda act a bit of a goof, but I'd really appreciate it if you could check that out. Links to those are in the description down below. Anyway, shilling out of the way, let's get to the developer update. Noting it's been 5 months since the reveal of the expansion, they've been working hard to bring their vision to a reality. Yeah, and they've been effectively more secretive about it, more so than previous expansions too. They'll be sending out the first batch of invitations later this week. Not today, unfortunately, but apparently it will go out to longtime World of Warcraft players who have been good boys and girls, as well as intentionally content creators. Which I'm not sure if I just wasn't tuned in enough before or not, but I don't recall them having specified that in the past. I find their noting that to be interesting. Anyway, they also provided a beta opt-in link so you can sign up to be pulled into the betas and alphas, which if you're interested, I'll put a link at the top of the description for that so you can go and opt in. Also, if you'd rather just read the article instead of listening to me prattle on about it, you can do that. I'm not going to read the article word for word, so there's the off chance that I may misinterpret and miss something, but I hope to make it a bit entertaining at the very least in addition to informative. I'll also provide a link to that right after the beta opt-in link. Also, let me know in the comments if you notice anything I missed. So what are they going to be testing initially? Like, what will be available to actually test and play with? Well, they specify here they'll have the full level up experience in the Zone of Bastion available along with the dungeon there, Necrotic Wake, as well as the Alliance version of the Exile's Reach, the starting zone for new characters and tutorial experience for new players. Also, I'm sure it goes without saying, but if I get access to the alpha and or beta, I'll put out videos showing this stuff off so you can all check it out here. Stay tuned for that, which, if you're not subscribed, now would be a good time for that for in the event that I get access to the alpha. Speaking of which, while my subscriber count has boomed, the percentage of my viewers that are subscribers has managed to maintain around 1%. So if you'd like to join the club and be part of that 1%, be sure to get subscribed and hit that bell to stay notified during this hopefully impending alpha access. It helps support the channel a lot, it's free, and you can always leave if you want to, no questions asked. They're aiming for Revendreth later in the month, which is exciting, but more importantly, they're aiming for Torghast, Tower of the Damned coming out then too, which I am incredibly excited for. Out of everything they talked about for this expansion, it's a pretty tough choice for which one I'm more excited about between Ardenweald and Torghast. On the one hand, Fae. Elune, I love Fae. On the other hand, Infinite Dungeon that is reminiscent of the Mage Tower, which was one of the most frustrating but exciting features I've seen in this game. Obviously they're going to continue releasing more content to test for the alpha as time goes by as well, and unlike some of the testing they did for Battle for Azeroth, they're actually going to use template characters to target the appropriate kind of testing. As you may know, the great unpruning is set to come with Shadowlands, where they're going to be adding back abilities to classes that previously had them removed, and that looks like it'll be ready to test and play with right off the bat. As well as some talent and ability or spell changes, and even resources apparently, with an apparent focus on hearing whether they go too far with the unpruning. Even noting, maybe a bunch of folks actually really hated Eyes of the Beast all along. Who knows? Please don't unprune Eyes of the Beast, Blizzard. Please. The most exciting bits, to me, even more than the possibility of Torghast within a month, were the next points they made. First, they note they've been making improvements to the quest interface, focusing on making it more clear which quests are there to advance the main narratives as opposed to the side quests. I feel like this is absolutely fantastic because if you're trying to just get through main story quests, especially for Lore Master achievements, it's felt incredibly clunky to me for a long time. In addition to that, they pointed out that they have a quote-unquote work-in-progress 3D indicator of tracked quest objective location, which will be available to use, aiming to reduce the need to bring up your map and help more clearly identify when an objective is above or below you. This is kind of confusing in a vacuum, but it becomes incredibly exciting, or at least to me anyway, I imagine to others as well, when you realize the next bit talks about rolling out a system that allows players to set waypoints as well as share the waypoints in chat channels, with the intent of eliminating the need for an add-on to convey exactly where things are. Everyone, we're getting official in-game TomTom without the need for an add-on. We're finally here. Now you don't have to worry about having it or not, and you don't have to worry about whether or not someone else has it. Like, especially for those who are hell-bent on not using any add-ons at all. You know, the ones who say, a rare is up by name, you ask for coordinates, they say, I don't have the coordinates, bruh, I don't like add-ons. Yeah, we're finally getting default support for it in-game. The last point is also quite substantial. Conquest is coming back as a currency in Shadowlands earned through rated PvP. Though with the audience they have at this point, I wonder if that rated requirement will remain indefinitely or if they'll add something else for non-rated PvP. Any which way, they're trying out this stupendous idea that, geez, I don't know, I gotta say, I'm not sure about this. Buying gear like specific pieces instead of random pieces. I don't know how the player base will be able to enjoy something that's not completely driven by RNG systems that they have no control over. No one's been asking for this. I'm kidding, of course, but that's absolutely awesome though. Eliminating some RNG with the ability to buy specific items from a vendor in Aerawave, the capital city. I hope to see more of that RNG elimination in this expansion. Honestly, eliminating more RNG and removing quote-unquote chores from the game would probably be enough to bring this game back out of the Dark Ages. They even mentioned there at the end of this point that they're going to be sharing a lot more details about their in-game itemization, which just sounds fantastic. Also, something I kinda didn't mention but is actually quite significant, you'll be able to upgrade the gear you get from Conquest with more Conquest, similar to benthic gear in Nazjatar. I thought it was funny that they made this note at the end, and I hope it's with good intentions and not with the intention to hide nefarious plans. But they blatantly point out that they are aware of the fact that people are going to be data mining the game and will find out information about in-game systems like soulbinds, covenant sanctums, and crafted legendary items like from Torghast. Something that made me happy is that they ended the informational bit by saying, "We remain guided by the core philosophies that we articulated at BlizzCon, player agency and empowering choices," as well as mentioning the importance of feedback and iteration, which they've learned from Battle for Azeroth apparently. Or at least Elune Saint. I hope so. Hopefully here, where they suggest it's important to carve out a large window of time for alpha and beta, means they can kinda push the release of the expansion back a bit, maybe to the last couple months of the year, or even maybe early next year. I know not everyone would want this, but the absolutely very truly last thing this game needs is a rushed product coming off the heels of Battle for Azeroth. I don't know if it's currently in a state of rushed or not, but I'm worried specifically about the fact that we're just now getting alpha about halfway through this year, then combining that with the whole situation going on outside of that, which is kind of affecting the whole world right now, you know. I can only imagine that could put delays on stuff, so I'd hope they wouldn't just try to cram more work in less time. I don't know about you, but I'm excited for this. I'll have to try and contain myself and try not to set my expectations too high, lest I ruin my experience with the game, and realistically everyone should do the same given Blizzard's recent track record. But it's really hard to not get excited. I know I am. Anyway, that's it for today. I'll update you when I hear more, of course. I have a different video I was working to try and get out today, but I kind of put it on pause with this information being released so early, but that should be out soon otherwise. If you'd like to hear future updates from me or see other videos from me, then make sure to get subscribed and hit that bell to stay notified. As I mentioned earlier, still around 1% of my viewers are actually subscribed, so if you'd like to be part of that 1%, now's the time. As I said earlier as well, it's free, it helps out the channel a lot, and you can always unsubscribe later, no questions asked. Also, if you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button to let me know, and if you have any questions or feedback, leave a comment and I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. Also, let me know what you want me to test and try out if I get access. I'll try to do everything I can, again assuming I get access. That said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Also, stay safe out there. We're in whack times right now outside of Azeroth.